Hello and welcome to another Performance Architects webinar snippet. These snippets include excerpts of webinars that are accessible by going to our website at www.performancearchitects.com and registering for our Learning Center, a community and forum for on-demand business education in the business intelligence and enterprise performance management arenas and related topics. Performance Architects is a business and technology consulting company that helps companies initiate and sustain big changes in their performance management and business intelligence environments and processes. Head over to our channel after this video or come back in the future to learn best practices, hear overviews, and take part in lessons we have designed to help you. We're focused on continuing to develop this community, and we welcome any recommendations you might have for future content. Thanks and enjoy.
So, as some of you may know, bins are defined in column properties and really are meant to perform calculations in the report themselves. They do generate a select case statement, and there is somewhat of a performance issue with, at a certain degree, if you overdo it with bins. But generally speaking, they are very good for combining values and or filtering values, and also have a very good feature, and perhaps some of you may not know, where you can treat the value as numeric, and this can be very handy in filling in gaps in the data. Usually bins are performed for doing rapid application development, prototyping, and they can be helpful in filling gaps in data quality. So we'd like to see everything put into the RPD, and we'd like to see everything orderly, but sometimes we're in situations we need to do that. So now let's compare that with calculated items, which you've also had for quite a long time. But one thing you may not realize is that now when you add a calculated item to your report, it's also adding it automatically as a selection step, which we'll talk a little bit later on. Now, calculated items differ from bins in that you're manipulating members of a group, adding them together in usually a pivot table, and it's producing an aggregated result under that new category. Once again, it's very helpful for various reasons. It's after aggregation. It's also very helpful in filling business needs that may have surfaced after an RPD has gone live. It may be also helpful for various other data quality needs. And we've found that, while the same is true for bins, while this is a good feature and it's very handy, it shouldn't be a substitute for proper design and build out in an RPD. But very powerful tool, and something that if you haven't been aware of, or perhaps you're on the end user side, it's something that's a very useful feature, and it'll allow you to change your reports without having to ask developers to make an RPE change, which can save a great deal of time. So a group is the next one. It's in the same family of functionality that with bins and category calculated items, in that it's grouping pieces of data together. It's vastly different than a calculated item in that you can't really perform aggregate calculations. You're actually just taking members you want to include and group together. What's great about groups over calculated items or bins is that if you use them in a hierarchical column, like I have displayed on the slide, they'll actually respect the hierarchy themselves. So it's actually a way to artificially insert your own hierarchy within the hierarchical column. Now, if you look at the picture just above that, I've done basically the same grouping, but in a non-hierarchical column, and the result is basically more of a flat aggregated result. So it's just a very, very good feature, and I think that it's always good to go back and review some of these features and functionalities. Groups was added in a little bit later on in 11G, and for those of you still in 10G, it's something, or you're thinking of upgrading, you should keep it in mind.